What's up everybody, I'm Ethan Lee, also known as Watcher Syndicate. Over this past week, quite a lot happened. For instance, on the 24th, I was paid 26 cents from Fidelity High Dividend ETF, ticker symbol FDVV. Of course it was reinvested. I had a very meager position of 1.07 shares, and after the reinvestment, I now have 1.08 shares. I chose to hold a very small portion of that ETF as an almost guaranteed return on itself to offset any other risky plays I decide to make. The key I found is to have a good base of defensive stocks and a small collection of riskier stocks. The riskier stocks, even if they do badly, it's negated by the guaranteed returns of the defensive stocks. On the 26th, I was paid twice. 18 cents from Bank of America, ticker symbol BAC, and 21 cents from Wisdomtree High Dividend Income Fund, ticker symbol DHS. I also bought $7 of US Bancorp, USB, to dollar cost average my position. While I was doing that, I decided to also buy $1 worth of Invesco Mortgage Capital, IVR, Wells Fargo, WFC, and Walgreens, WBA. I decided to buy these three stocks because they were my largest losses at the time. I felt that at its core, these companies had nothing inherently wrong with their numbers or were doing anything unsustainable. So I capitalized on the current worldwide situation and I bought more at this low price, which brought my total losses down. I was also paid on the 26th on the account I managed for my parents, where I was only paid 18 cents from Bank of America on my personal account. I was paid $7.38 on the managed account. Yet again, another credit card arrived. This week's card is the Open Sky Secured Credit Card. This card is quite unique as it doesn't check your credit score. So it doesn't matter if you have a bad score or no credit at all. As such, it won't give you a temporary bad mark in the form of a hard inquiry. However, they require a security deposit of $200 to $3,000. That security deposit ends up being your total line of credit. The amount you deposit is returned to you after you close the account or after a certain period of time has passed. Also, instead of simply applying for more credit like you do with many other cards, the Open Sky Secured Credit Card actually asks you to match that. So if you have $200 credit, you could actually, like on Discover, you can ask for it to be increased to, let's say, $500. However, for the secured credit card, if you would like to increase it to $500, you would actually have to add another deposit of $300. The annual fee for the card is $35, and my plan with this card is to hold on to it for a bit, maybe maxing out the credit limit and eventually waiting for it to raise my credit score so I can apply for a better card, and then canceling this one before next June. Another facet I've dedicated some of my investment towards is cryptocurrency. My current exposure to crypto is about 0.94% of my total assets and equity. I'm looking to increase it up to 4%. After doing some research, I found that a little portion in crypto goes a very long way. This is because the risk and reward are very unbalanced. The risk is quite obvious, which is the possibility of losing your entire position or having it be worth $0. However, the reward is that it may exponentially grow. The reward is great enough for me to take an interest and great enough that only a small portion has the ability to reap massive benefits. Bitcoin dropped a little more over the past week, so I added to my position. This week, I got 0.00100792 Bitcoins, or $9.98 to add to my current position. I also bought 2 more booster boxes of Magic cards with store credit I had. 1 box of Guilds of Ravnica and 1 box of Ravnica Legions for $96.29 each. They're worth approximately $89.82 and $87.82 respectively. These two sets are very close to me as they were the newest sets that came out when I really started playing Magic. Guilds of Ravnica is the first set I've ever seen all the way from before spoilers to when it was out of print and its rotation out of standard. I don't know if it's possible to feel nostalgic considering it was only released October of 2018, but hey. New product is pretty incredible to flip, especially with the current heightened demand and supply chain issues. I'm mainly talking about the recent Ikoria Commander decks. The stacks of cards I've managed to sell over the past few weeks to generate massive loads of store credit were all from the Ikoria Commander decks. Even at inflated store pricing, I can get 5 Commander decks at Walmart for about $225 after tax. I can open them all and pull out all the cards that are worth above $1 to sell. Even after selling them for 60% of its value if it was medium played, even though it's straight out of the box, I'm able to get as much as I paid for in store credit. Once the supply chain is rebalanced and more stock flows into the system, single prices will deflate and the easy money has already been made. With that strategy in mind, I sold another hefty stack of cards to my 2 stores. My go-to store actually told me that I was banned from selling these 3 cards to them, as over the past few weeks I've sold over 10 or so copies of each card. This is why I have 2 stores I can sell to. The first store with the majority of the expensive cards ended up giving me about $240 in store credit, while my secondary store got me $70, including the copious amounts of arcane signets, soul rings, and command towers. It's well-known advice within the Magic community to never open packs for value, as you're gonna lose money 9 out of 10 times. Knowing that, I decided to splurge a bit with the extra credit and just go against that advice. I spent $56 worth of store credit to buy 3 packs of Scars of Mirrodin and 2 packs of Mystery Boosters. I wasn't expecting anything of value, but I ended up getting about $15 worth of value back. The cards I weren't using, I sold to the store to recoup another $8.25 back. I ended up paying $10 for each pack of Mystery Boosters, which frankly is too expensive in hindsight, but Mystery is such a fun set to crack, and the bulk of the value that I got back was from these 2 packs. The 3 packs of Scars, however, cost me $12 each. While it was more expensive and had less value, I am still working on my Scars of Mirrodin block cube, which means 13 out of the 15 cards per pack were actually being used for something. After the initial quick flip, it moves into a long game. Much like the widely available standard boxes, Dominaria was available for $80 to $95 during one point. After it went out of print, it had a record speed spike to $130 where it held for quite a while. Recently, over the past week, it jumped another $40, settling around the $170 to $180 range now. When I first started playing Magic, Dominaria was already halfway through its standard lifespan. I recall buying 3 boxes of Dominaria and unfortunately naively ripping them open in pursuit of a $60 mythic card that terrorized stores across the world. Yes, I'm talking about that Teferi, and yes, it was a dark time. Little did I know, the $270 I spent would have turned into $510 in a mere 2 years. I did end up picking a box up a few months ago because I had extra store credit at the time. So my current position in Dominaria is a single box entered in at $120. It appears the bulk of the Magic market has been going up due to various bannings of artists, due to controversial events, and the surplus of money that has been entering the system from the stimulus checks. This seems like a prime time to get into holding Magic in your portfolio, whether or not you decide it's a quick flip or a decades-long term hold. The golden rule in investing in general however, is to not get too greedy, listen to the facts and tune out the market noise, stay the course, and leave the next 5-10% for the next person. It's an unprecedented time in Magic where there's product after product after product. While many people suffer wallet fatigue, I see this as a golden opportunity to attempt to keep up. I see this as a long game of attrition. After flipping the Ikoria Commander decks mentioned prior, Core 21 releases on the 3rd. With the release of every standard set, there is a pre-release that typically takes place a week prior to it at local gaming stores. Due to the current events in the world, LGSs around the country are offering to sell pre-release kits to take home. I went to grab 5 to play with friends. I ended up paying for my own and my financial partners, while the other 3 will be reimbursed. Just by selling the cards in my own kit, I ended up getting enough credit to buy yet another one, which I will be holding in my portfolio as another asset to diversify with. I found another product when I was buying my 6th kit that went under my own personal radar, and that is the signature spellbook Chandra. I ended up getting another one because of the extra store credit I had, and it was another line in a product that was quite cheap but had a very low print run, so I felt that it was a good long-term hold. And with that being said, that's everything for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to leave a comment with your thoughts, and don't forget to hit subscribe and the bell icon to be notified whenever new videos posted. Feel free to follow me on Instagram at wf.ethan.lee, where I post art every Tuesdays and Thursdays. This is Ethan, over and out.